All right, today we're going to be talking about building a title sequence like this one. And this is actually something that someone in the YouTube comments posted and said, hey, an editor in Premiere built this for me. Can I do it in Camtasia? Take a look at it. Pretty common, modern style sequence. And the answer is yes. Here's sort of a pretty faithful copy of doing that in Camtasia, just with a different color scheme. So let's take a look at how we could build this from scratch, or almost scratch. I've got a few things laid out on here just to make it a little bit quicker so you don't have to watch me type and drag around a bunch of text and shapes. So what I've got, a couple of pieces of font. You would get to these through the annotations tab and the callouts, and these are just plain text. If you look at your all the callouts, you're going to have those options. And what I've done is lay them out just statically on the stage here, or on the canvas. And now I've got a shape down here, which is exactly the width of the canvas and half the height, because this entire sequence is sort of a scene reveal around the midpoint of the Y dimension. All right, so the other thing we've got going is we've got a divider line right here, and then I'm going to unhide this track right here. And this is just a big shape rectangle. You get to those again. Those are created with native Camtasia shapes. I've just pulled them out of my shapes bin and sized them about how I wanted them to lay out. And the first thing we're going to do is look at how we can make this divider line, this white line behind, grow and expand. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this big shape right here, and I'm going to apply a custom animation with a keyboard shortcut. Zoom in on my timeline a little bit here. And if I was doing this drag and drop, I'd come over to animations and I'd go get the custom animation and drag it down on here. So I've got this guy, and I'm going to back him up against the front of this guy, and we're going to make him, instead of half a second long, just a little bit longer. All right, somewhere like that. We're going to come back to the first initial super keyframe, and all we're going to do is I'm holding down Command, and then I'm going to drag this side handle. And on Windows, I believe that would be Control. You use, and you're going to bring it back like that. And now I've got this green box animating. I can see it doesn't animate quite far enough to cover that white, so let's go ahead and fix that. So again, Command, drag handles, bam. All right, pretty good. And you're saying to yourself, great, awesome job, Brooks. That's not at all what I wanted. You're right. We're going to turn this into a track mat. Alpha mode. And now if we watch it again, you'll see we have our growing divider line, right? So let's go ahead and group this guy up. And we're going to turn off that alpha mat. Say none. And just to finish this guy off, we're going to come in down here again. I'm on the matte layer, and I'm going to go to the end of this, and I'm going to back up one frame. Again, I'm going to apply a custom animation. This time I'm going to make him pretty short. Let's go down to maybe, that's about right. And on the end super keyframe, we're going to go ahead and bring him back out, right? And actually, an easier way to do this, instead of the custom animation, I'm going to delete that guy. I'm going to go into my favorites, but I can also get this from right here and restore. Favorites, restore animation, and that's just going to back everything out back to the original, right? So that is what we wanted. Getting something like that right there, and it collapses down. So let's watch that. So it makes it shrink back down. Okay. Element 1 is done. Not too bad, right? Okay. Now let's go ahead and start dealing with our text. And I'm going to insert a track above this. And I'm actually going to come down and copy this this half a screen. So I'm just going Command-C, and I'm going to come out to the beginning of all these tracks, media clips. Just paste, pop it right in there above the We Are One. And what I'm actually going to do is grab this guy and put him up in the top. And I am going to turn this guy into a track mat. So we're going to say alpha. All right. Now, same thing here. We're going to go ahead and group these guys up. We're going to turn off our mat mode. I'm going to drill into the group. And instead of animating the mat this time around, what we're going to do is animate the text. So I'm again going to apply a custom animation with the keyboard shortcut. And make sure it's backed up against the front of the screen. I'm going to make this guy about 40. And we're going to come back to that first super keyframe. And all we're going to do is I'm just shift arrowing down. And you'll see him disappear. The mat is not letting it be visible. So probably about right there. Looks good. And again, let's finish this guy off with restore animation. Push it all the way down to the end here. And I'm going to make this about, let's make this guy 20. It's going to go out a little bit quicker than it came in, all right? So disappear like that. All right. Okay. We're done with this element. Let's take a look. Yep. All right, moving on. I'm going to push this piece of media, that group up, and I'm going to focus on this. All right. Again, I'm going to copy this half a screen shape. Command-C, Command-V. All right. And he's actually in exactly the right position, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave him there. And we're going to turn him into a track mat. Alpha mat it. We'll group this guy up. We'll turn off that mat on the main timeline. Again, remember, when you group something that has a track mat, it will preserve the track mat inside the group, but it's up to you to clean it up out on the main timeline. All right, and in this again, let's do a custom animation. Let's make it start about, let's see. There we are, right there. I want him to mostly be visible. Still a little bit moving when this guy drops in. So we're going to go back here, move this guy out a little bit. I've gone too far. All right, right about 2243. So snap back into him. And we're going to, again, shift up key this time. So we're going where that mat isn't. And now this guy's going to drop in, right? So we got sort of bam, boom, boom, right? Okay, looks pretty good. Again, I'm going to move this guy up because we're pretty much done with him. Good practice, always to rename yourself. So let's say rename group lower text and rename group upper text. All right, so the final element is if we zoom back out, go take a quick peek at the original. So you can see it's got this transparent, semi-transparent rectangle that animates in, animates over, and comes back to full screen, and then eventually it leaves the screen. Alright, so let's see if we can duplicate that in the Camtasia. So I'm on my shape. Again, this is nothing fancy. This is just a Camtasia shape. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop a custom animation here. And I'm going to come out to the first keyframe. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this. So this is not normally the way I roll, but eyeballing is the nature of the game right now for this tutorial. And I've already made a mistake. I've animated this before I changed the opacity, so we're going to undo this, get rid of that animation, and we're going to come over with this shape selected, and we're in the shape tab of the properties panel. We're going to come over to the opacity of the fill, change it to 20%. Okay, all right, that's already better. Now we'll add that custom animation in, come to that first super keyframe, and we're going to, again, use the command side handle drag. I want this guy to be about this size, maybe. Okay, and he's going to expand out, and what I'm actually going to do is, I think if you looked at the original, it sort of lines up with this guy right here, maybe. Position of that. Let's see. There we go. All right. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to back him all the way up to the beginning. I'm going to make him about 40 frames long. All right, I'm in a 60 frames per second project, so I know that I'm at 40 frames there when that duration's at 40. Okay, so next we've got a couple more animations that happen, right? So this guy, if I remember correctly, will add another custom animation. I'm going to back him up. I'm going to check the duration of this guy. It's 30 frames, so that's about right. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to move him all the way to the top. And I'm sick of using the arrow keys. We'll just drag it up there. Oops. Just drag this one up there. Here we go. Okay, so it comes out, immediately starts up. And then we've got this phenomena again. Add a new custom animation here. Back it all the way into that keyframe. Check its duration. Should be exactly half a second long. It is. Alright, so now instead of holding down command, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this guy down a little bit. So it does something kind of funky here where it comes down and it also grows on this one side. So I'm just going to drag that handle on the one side all the way to the bottom. And I get my snap line, right? So, alright, so what have we got so far? It comes up, comes down, grows a bit, and then there's one little final animation on this where I'm going to add this guy, and he's 17. I want him to probably be about 10. Alright, so I'll zoom in a little bit here, and for his final destination, he's going to go like this, just dragging that guy up so he's full dimensions now. Alright, so that's pretty much that shape. Oops, I've gone all the way to the back here. I'm just going to get back to what we were building, and it's looking pretty good. Now you can obviously customize all this to taste, and one thing I forgot to do was I didn't animate my one piece of text at the end there, I did not animate the shape out, so it's a real simple animation at the end of this. Again, custom animation. I'm going to jam it up against the end here. And I'm going to make him about 10. Again, go to that end super keyframe. And this time I'm just gonna get this guy out of dodge here. Shift arrowing down until it is off screen, off the canvas. All right, good enough. So, yep, let's go back in and fix that title. This one back a little bit. Yep, I've got it labeled. It was helpful, wasn't it? So I could remember what was going on. And if you remember, we're going to use the restore again. Again, I've got it stored in favorites, but it's in animations. All right, and I'm going to jump them all the way out to the end. And this guy, let's see what we got happening here at the end here. Well, it's close enough. I mean, I can adjust the timing of this if I wanted to. The way I could do that is I could come back out of here, come up to this upper text and see exactly when it starts. And that's when it actually starts. So let's come back out and go lower again. And note my time, 29:51. So it's over here. I'm going to grab this guy and I'm going to go to 29:51. But instead of them both coming out at the same time, what I want is this guy to be a little bit quicker. So let's make him about 14. You know, so moves in a little bit quicker. And this guy is boom. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm going, hey, maybe some final polish touch up on this is up here, get everything together. Maybe I don't really like where this divider line is at when these guys are animating into position. I'd like it to be a little bit more lined up with that text. Nice thing is I've already grouped that, right? So I'm just going to start sort of arrowing back to the very beginning. All right, and no animations. I'm just going to move this guy up a little bit. Zoom in on the canvas so we can see him. Yeah, I'm going to move him up a little bit. So we're going to come maybe like so. So let's see how that looks. Get the canvas back out to 100%. And yeah, that's more like it. All right, and let's watch this in real time. Looking pretty good. Did we get all the animations done? Yep, we did. Collapses pretty fast. And I'm actually going to make my tracks a little bit smaller, make sure I've got everything. And now I'm going to group this entire title sequence. Group it, rename it. Cool modern title -01, let's say. All right. And now what I would do is add this to my library. Sure, let's put it in the modern callouts library. Bam, like so. And now I have a reusable asset that I can use over and over again. I'm going to delete this guy. Come back over to this cool modern title 001 in my library. And you can see, there it is. Super awesome. Now, remember, your library is the one with the bookshelf looking icon over here. And if you're used to working like this, you see all the labels, so maybe it's a little bit easier for you. But I like the room for my canvas. All right, hope this helps. You guys have a good one.